EdTech sector self-regulation bid. How, why, and why now? The companies have formed a collective India EdTech Consortium under the aegis of the industry body Internet and Mobile Association of India (IAMAI). India's rapidly growing education technology sector recently took a step towards self-regulation, with a clutch of leading companies adopting a set of guidelines to conduct their business. The companies have formed a collective India Education Tech Consortium under the aegis of the industry body Internet and Mobile Association of India (IAMAI). The collective has been formed after the government announced that it was working on a policy to regulate the sector. What exactly is EdTech? EdTech is essentially a combination of education and technology. Before the pandemic hit, EdTech was mostly about using technological tools to improve learning outcome and enhancing access. It was a sector that was already growing fairly steadily. A major push came as COVID-19 shut down schools, colleges, and universities. From being a modern choice, remote learning suddenly became the only alternative as institutions, students, guardians, and authorities switched to the digital mode. Four out of the six Indian edtech startups with valuations of $1 billion and above have come up over the last year, which captures the way the industry has grown of late. Which are these startups valued at $1 billion or more? The companies are Byju's, Unacademy, Eruditus, Upgrad, Vedantu, and Lead School. Companies such as these are called unicorns, a recognition of the fact that startups with a net worth of over $1 billion are rarely found. While Vedantu, Upgrad, and Eruditus joined the Unicorn Club in 2021, Lead School joined the league this month. What was the need for edtech companies to roll out self-regulation? The move to self-regulate stems from growing concern, which echoed in Parliament that many edtech firms were indulging in various forms of business malpractices to attract consumers. The government stepped in last month, issuing an advisory of do's and don'ts for students and guardians looking to sign up for online courses offered by these companies. The advisory also cautioned the companies against violations. Earlier this month, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan had announced that the government was working on a policy to regulate the edtech ecosystem. His remarks had withdrawn mixed reactions from the industry that has traditionally been wary of state intervention. What kind of complaints did edtech companies face? In its advisory, the government has cautioned people against enrolling for courses without careful evaluation because many courses billed as free in advertisements were found to be paid. Also, many customers have unknowingly signed up for loans arranged by these companies, the government said. It has come to the notice of the Department of School Education and Literacy that some edtech companies are luring parents in the garb of offering free services and getting the electronic fund transfer mandate signed or activating the auto debit feature, especially targeting the vulnerable families, the government said in the advisory. So, how does the collective plan to set things right? The Indian EdTech Consortium has adopted a 3-page code of conduct for their business. The code is an attempt to address the concerns raised by the government. Most of the clauses allude to red flags that have been raised in the recent past. The companies Byju's, Career 360, Greater Learning, Harappa, Times EdTech, and Events Limited, Scalar, Simply Learn, Topper, Unacademy, Upgrad, Vedantu, and Whitehead Jr., among others, have claimed to have adopted the mantra, "What is told is what is sold." What else does the code of conduct contain? Apart from stressing on transparency and warning against misleading ads, the code of conduct says the companies are expected to use legal terms of qualification such as MBA, BBA, and other in ads only when it's compliant with guidelines issued by the UGC and AICTE. On the practice of edtech firms using examples of students achieving success by using their products. The code says such claims must be authentic with validated proof of performance. Every advertisement of successful candidate must substantiate the product or service they use to give credibility to the claim of success, it says. Industry players have been advised to adopt the code for self-regulation issued by Advertising Standard Council of India. Also, policies should be displayed regarding the refund and cancellation prominently on the user interface platform in a manner that cannot be missed. Loans and other financing FAQs should be clearly mentioned on the platform, the code of conduct says. Thank you.